Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariah and I talk about books and bookish things on my channel. So if you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. I really appreciate you guys. Every time I see one of you returning and commenting, it fills me up with that warm fuzzy feeling. Today's drink is coffee in my I have vocabulary of a well-educated sailor, and it's just coffee from my local roaster and some condensed milk. Very tasty. Today I wanted to do something new. I wanted to talk about goals. There have been a lot of goals check-in for a lot of booktubers. They've been going around, and I wasn't on this platform at the beginning of the year, so I decided I was going to set goals for the remaining months of the year, starting August 1st, which for me is tomorrow, and going through the rest of the year. And with that said, let's get started. As a whole, I really want to focus on decluttering my Storygraph / Goodreads TBR. They're the same TBR. I really want to focus on prioritizing the books that I own. I want to read more middle grade, read more LGBTQIA+, and read more books with main characters who have disabilities. I also want to focus on or prioritize my Crate books because I get them every year, or I get them every month, and I'm way behind on reading them. I want to focus on reading books written by BIPOC and members of the BIPOC community. Again, Black, Indigenous, people of color. I want to continue educating myself on the issues of race and the history of racism in the United States and around the world. And yeah, so now I'm going to go through each of those goals independently and talk about what books I want to read or what books would fit that prompt. So for decluttering my TBR, I already have a series going here and on my blog, Decluttering My TBR. I'm just going to stick with doing those and doing 10 at a time and slowly whittling that down. To read more middle grade, I have the Percy Jackson series I need to reread. I have the Artemis Fowl series I need to reread and finish. So those are the two I'm really going to focus on there, along with some for like readathons. I'm reading Silver Batal and the Water Dragon Races for Draconathon in August. For LGBTQIA+, I'm not sure what books I own. I think Crier's War and Girls of Paper and Fire. I really want to go through right now all of the Crate books I own, just for transparency. These are the books that if you don't see on my TBR before December 31st, at least some of them, get on me. They satisfy a lot of prompts, and I'm just being lazy. These are not in any order at all. They're just in a pile from where I pulled them off my shelf. So Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nyan. Kingdom of Back by Mary Lou. Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. Goddess and the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. We Have the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Crown of Feathers by Nikki Pau-Prato. Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy. Crier's War by Nina Varela. Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schulte. Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. Wicked Saints by Emily Duncan. And Mirage by Samaya Dawood. So to moving on to the next goal. My next goal is to continue to educate myself on the issues of race and the history of racism, not in the United States and around the world. So to do that, I want to read Slavery by Another Name, The Re-Enslavement of Black Americans from the Civil War to World War II by Douglas Blackman. I also want to read An Indigenous People's History of the United States by Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz. A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijeoma Oluo. I'll leave it like. And White Fragility by Robert DiAngelo. For books written by Black, Indigenous, and people of color, I really want to pick up Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, which I'm currently reading. Mirage by Samaya Dawood. Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This one, the cover is also done by an Asian artist that I follow on Instagram. The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. And Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Neon. If I'm saying that wrong, I am so very sorry. For the LGBTQIA prompt, Girls of Paper and Fire and Crier's War, I think, are the two on this list that have LGBTQIA plus characters. Please let me know if there are other characters. I would also like to read 100 books by the end of the year. I'm at 67? Yeah. No, 68. I'm at 68. So that's 24 more books before the end of the year. That's an average of 6 books per month, which is what I do for my TBRium anyways. So August's TBR is already set, so that puts me at kind of a disadvantage unless you know any of these books that satisfy dragon prompts. That would be awesome. So those are my goals for the rest of the year. I'm really excited about them. I really think that this will give me a chance to delve into what I already own. I have a lot of other books on that shelf, but these are the ones, especially the Owl Crate books, because I've been getting them forever, and I have 17 books. So that's over a year's backlog on Owl Crate books. I really need to get cracking and read those, but I don't want to sacrifice continuing my self-education on racism and what we can do about it. Please check out the card that I've linked down below if you want a way to support the various movements. Please check out my Twitter. I am retweeting petitions and GoFundMes and all of that there. Please check out the booktubers that I have shouted out down below. Specifically, I'm going to go with these aren't the only booktubers that I follow, obviously, but these are ones that are making some really cool content and have under 1,000 subscribers, and you should really check them out. If you like what you saw, you can find me here most weeks on Thursdays and Sundays. You can find me on my blog most weeks on Mondays and Fridays. And you can find me on Twitter pretty much every day. So I'm going to wrap this up here. Remember, read diversely. What are your reading goals for the rest of the year? I'd be really interested to know. If you've made a goals check-in video and you're watching this, please leave that link down below because I will absolutely check it out. I love goals videos. And yeah, I think that wraps up this video. Thank you guys again for stopping by. All the best. Coffee, wine, and books to you. Cheers.